Today has been set aside for the 4th of June as the day for Youthful Parenting Convention for parents who are children to teenagers and children. I think there is a need, and we're not only filling the gap, we are doing tremendous work and equipping parents to be able to parent well, to be aware and to be able to have the skills to do the work of parenting that they have been called to. The fact that I'm a parent and I'm aware of the challenges that parenting bring, and not just myself, but there are friends that I have who are also faced with tremendous challenges in parenting. So given my own challenges, their challenges, and what I see around in the churches and in the community, those challenges inspired me to want to do at least something for parents within our church and our community, so that we'll be able to have a clear vision of what the challenges are, be aware of them, and be able to address the challenges.
My workshop was on developing children spiritually. So it was called Train Up a Child, and it was about the ways in which we as parents need to be very conscious of purposefully and deliberately thinking about our children's spiritual development and the things that we need to be doing in the home, beyond just thinking about having worship, family worship in the mornings and the evenings, and beyond just taking our children to church. There are so many challenges that our parents are facing in education and schooling. The curriculum is changing. There are expectations that schools teach particular things that might go against the values of Christian families. There are challenges for parents around discipline and behaviour of their children. Challenges around for parents with their children engaging in a lot of social media. And sometimes children can isolate themselves in their bedrooms and just be interacting with the world through screens. And I think that's very challenging for parents. And I think also because we are living in an increasingly unchristian society, for Christian parents, I think it's difficult for them to maintain the standards that they have for their children in the society that we have. I think the value and the importance of planning for their children's spiritual development in the same way that they invest time and effort and energy in planning for their children's educational development, in thinking about their children's physical well-being. If your child is not well, you go to the doctor says this is what you need to do, and we will do that for our children. But with children's spiritual development, I think sometimes what we do is we think it's enough to just be Christians, it's enough to take them to church and bring them back home again, but not actually thinking about how we can incorporate and build spirituality into everything that we do with our children, everyday activities. So I think that's what I wanted the parents to come away with, the importance of thinking everything about what we do and how we can bring Jesus, make Jesus real to our children and bring Jesus into what we do every day.
We found out how powerful our words are, so we have to be very careful what we're saying also to each other as husband and wife in front of our daughter, and what we're actually saying to her, because we learned that that can impact greatly on her future. We also learned what she's eating as well, what we're feeding her is very important, because it's related to how she'll develop, not just physically, but also emotionally, mentally, and that can reflect on her spirituality as well. So that was very eye-opening.
I've learned quite a lot. There's many things, obviously, which I need to unlearn, as a parent. Obviously, coming from the Caribbean, the way I was brought up as a child, it had its pros and cons. And some of the habits and the tendencies which was embedded in me as a child, I still see it manifesting the way I nurture and grow my children. And I had to take a step back today to think, actually, I need to modify the way, I parent. It was not necessarily the right way. And I had to be very careful not to sow the same seeds into my children the way it was sown in me, because the fruits of that could be quite distorted at times. Hence the reason I think it was quite good.
Well, we got some notebooks, so I took notes down, and I'm going to put them into practice as well, and also I'd like to share it with others who weren't able to attend today, and we're hoping that we can also have the project come to our church and expound on what we heard today. That would be really good.
I'm going to obviously have a chat with my kids and think about what I'm doing, and more importantly how it's being done, and monitor the effects of my actions and the words which I speak, and see how my kids respond to it, and not just be headstrong in my approach towards parenting and my ways is not always the right ways, and obviously sometimes, you know, you have to take a step back.
We are planning to have a follow-up to this convention today. We don't know the exact time yet, but we're going to be consulting with the parents so that we can be sure that they will be able to attend, as well as the friends and family members as well. So there's follow-up coming up.